my mom, I'll never forget this. As I got older, whenever she would be working in a store and she's like, hey, I'm moving stores. I'm like, oh, why? She's like, oh, this one over here is it's not performing well. And so, this is before there was Starbucks. I mean, this is back then. 7-Eleven was a place where you got your coffee, you got your gas in the morning, you grabbed a donut. Like that was a breakfast place,
One-stop shop.
It was a one-stop shop. And when she would move, I'll never forget, like her customers would move with her.
Wow, that's a testament,
right?
there.
And so when that happened, I remember thinking, why are they following you? She's like, oh, they're here to see me because I know what kind of cigarettes they buy.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the kind of coffee they like. They want me to have this on the fountain machine.
Yeah.
And so that really had a huge impression on me to understand, like, that's the kind of impact you can have on people, even in a place that you wouldn't think, an everyday 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and that's so powerful that you can become a part of somebody's routine. I think if you can get to that point where you become habitual for somebody, where they need you to start their day because of the relationship, or they're even willing to drive another 3 or 4 miles out of their way to get that daily dose of you, not just what you're giving them, but that relationship. That's
Absolutely.
so powerful.
Yeah. So that had a huge impression on me, and I think that really shaped kind of what we do here at Fat Straws. And I will say this, though, having worked there all through my childhood, I worked there when I was 15 years old, left when I was 20. So I had a badge that said serving you for over 5 years. It was kind of crazy. It was like a little kid with a badge like that. I swore that I would never come back to retail.
So much for that.
Food service, and here I am,
Before we move away from this part of your life, I really want you to paint that picture of how your mom engaged customers. Reflecting back, watching her, I'm sure you've seen her do it hundreds or thousands of times. How did she handle those relationships? Paint that picture of that engagement she had.
Yeah, I think I think Danny Meyer sums it up really well. Like, service is the technical delivery of what you do, right? That'd be like greeting someone when they come in, performing their transaction properly, saying bye, making sure the store is clean, right? Mm-hmm. And then hospitality is about how you make people feel.
Soul.
Right? And that's what I think she did. Like, she knew them. Not just knew their name, like she knew them. She knew their kids, and she engaged with them, and she was part of their lives. People would give her Christmas gifts. Like, I don't know the last time you gave your Starbucks barista a Christmas gift, or
never,
right? And so people knew that. And so part of it was just it was relational. It was community. It was family, and it wasn't transactional. Right?
Give me an example of something that she did that really just stands out, as far as what length or what degree she was willing to go to make it personal, to make it hospitality.
I mean, I would say the first place I really saw was with her team.
Okay.
Right? In kind of this hourly wage type of role where people are very transient. She had people with her for well over 10 years. And so when people were having challenges, she would help them. Like, hey, let me go help this person go get a car. Let me help them figure out how they're going to do this. Hey, this person's kind of going through a rough time. Let me go and actually provide dinner for them.
Why is that so powerful?
Yeah, I think it's really about showing people that you care, right? And I think there's a saying that I subscribe to is I think we all want to be known, deeply known, but we're afraid to be known because we think if you really know who I am, that you won't love me. And so she was really great at just loving on people.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I think.
Don't wait for the invitation, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people were drawn to.
And you were saying, sharing some of these things, like your mother would help cover the expense of a car or whatever it is. Maybe it's maintenance or whatever. At the end of the day, we need security. We need to know that we're secure, that our lives are being taken care of. And that's what the paycheck does, right? That it covers our securities, our the most basic needs. But at the end of the day, we need way more than that to really show up. We need those securities to be covered, right? So if you can help your people cover those things that help you feel secure, then you can show up to work in a much better mindset, right? And that's just so powerful. And then from there, you can focus on so much more. Do you want to reflect on that?
Yeah, no, and I think the thing is that she also challenged them. So maybe a lot of these people weren't challenged, or they didn't have structure, or they didn't maybe have discipline required of them. I mean, she was tough. She wasn't just all the warm fuzzies. She pushed people. But she could see more more in someone than they could see in themselves, and help them kind of like
see their own potential.
Yeah, cover that delta.
And that's so important. We don't know because we're so close to who we are. It's in the example I use a lot is like when you're on the island of Manhattan, you don't know you're on an island,
right?
Until you get away from it, you
that's
can
right.
see you're on an island. We're so close to who we are, we don't always know what we're good at because it's relative to our perspective. But until somebody else sees what we're doing relative to other people doing it, they go, wow, like you're really good at this. Like we need that reinforcement to help us find our path, to find out what we're good at, what we're bad at. And we don't know our own potential until somebody points it out.
For sure.
It's so powerful. Anything else during this come up of this experience, working at 7-Eleven with your mom, any key lessons, anything that you think sets you up for success in life?
Yeah. Again, I think it's what is the recipe of what makes people feel something. And so it's like if you think about it, it's such a sensory experience when you walk into a store, right? You get impressions. Like literally, one of the things I do when we bring new team members on is I'll take them on a tour and go through other businesses, and I'll tell them, and this is something I learned from Mom. Like you walk up, it's like, what does the parking lot look like? Is there a bunch of fingerprints on the door? When you walk in, what do you smell? What do you hear? Like, does someone greet you, and do they really greet you? Do they look you in the eye and greet you, or is it just transactional? Hey, welcome in, how you doing? Or it's like, hey, what's up, man? Or hey, how you doing? Or like, hey, Eric, what's going on? Right? And like that just changes the way you feel. And then when you walk up and you're like, hey, you want to get some coffee? Or like, you're gonna get hey, we just got some fresh donuts over here. Or hey, you want to get a hot dog today? And like, just seeing how she would make people feel coming in, and then when you leave, she made their day just like a little bit better by being there.
So
right?
You started this by saying the equation to making people say that one more time.
Hospitality is really about how you make people feel.